Chase, the slowest cheetah ever. Once upon a time, in a sunny land far, far away, lived a cheetah named Chase. Now, most cheetahs are super duper fast, zoom, like a speedy race car. But Chase? Well, Chase was a little different. He was a slow cheetah, not super slow like a snail, but slow for a cheetah. He just really, really liked to take his time. While other cheetahs zoomed and raced, Chase loved to look up at the big blue sky. He loved to watch fluffy clouds float by like cotton candy. He loved to see tiny birds zip and swirl. And at night, oh, how he loved to gaze at the twinkling, shiny stars. They looked like glitter sprinkled across a dark blanket. "Come on, Chase," his friends would call. "Race us to the big watering hole." Chase would smile and say, "You go ahead. I'll be there soon." Sometimes the other cheetahs would giggle. "Look at Chase," they would whisper. "The slowest cheetah ever. Is he even trying? Maybe he's just lazy." They thought being fast was the only important thing. But Chase didn't mind. He just kept walking slowly, looking at the tiny flowers on the ground or watching a busy beetle scurry by. He knew he wasn't lazy. He was just seeing things they missed. The big watering hole was where all the animals came to drink. Elephants splashed, zebras sipped, and monkeys chattered. It was a happy, bubbly place. But one very hot sunny day, something strange happened. The big watering hole started to get smaller and smaller. The water went down, down, down. Soon it was just a little puddle. And then, poof, it was all gone. The ground was dry and cracked like a broken cookie. "Oh no!" cried the fast cheetahs. They ran around in circles, very, very worried. "Where will we drink? We're so thirsty. What will we do?" Their speedy legs couldn't help them now. They just ran faster and faster, but there was no water. Other animals started to worry too. The zebras looked sad. The monkeys stopped chattering. Everyone felt very, very thirsty. "We must find water," one very fast cheetah named Flash declared. "We'll go. We're the fastest. We can run everywhere and find a new watering hole in no time." Another speedy cheetah, Dash, nodded. "Yes, our speed will save us." Chase slowly walked up. "I can come too," he offered quietly. "Maybe I can help look." Flash and Dash looked at each other. "Sorry, Chase," said Flash. "You'll just slow us down. We need to be super fast to find water. You stay here with the rest." Dash added, "We'll be back in a flash with good news. Our speed is our superpower." So Flash and Dash and a few other speedy cheetahs zoomed off. They ran as fast as they could in every direction, left, right, forward, backward. They ran and ran and ran, thinking that the faster they ran, the quicker they would find water. But after a long, long time, they came back. Their fur was dusty, their tongues were hanging out, and they looked even more thirsty than before. They had run so much, they had used up all their energy, and they hadn't found a single drop of water. "It's no use," cried Flash, panting. "There's no water anywhere." Chase, as usual, wasn't running around. He was standing still, looking at the dry ground. He saw tiny cracks like spiderwebs spreading everywhere. He thought. Then he looked closer. He saw a line of tiny busy ants. They weren't going to the dry watering hole. Oh no, they were marching in a long, long line, going in a different direction. Ants are very smart, Chase knew. They always know where to find good things. Chase looked up at the sky. It was still blue, but he saw a tiny, tiny cloudway way far away. It looked like a little puff of smoke, and he felt a tiny, tiny breeze, just a whisper, on his nose. "What are you looking at, Chase?" asked a worried zebra. "There's no water up there." Chase smiled. "Maybe not, but the sky tells stories, and the ground tells secrets." He started to walk, slowly, slowly, in the direction the ants were going. The fast cheetahs saw him. "Where are you going, Chase?" they called. "There's no water that way. We already ran everywhere." "I'm following a clue," Chase said, still walking slowly. He kept looking at the ground. He saw the cracks getting a little bit smaller in one spot, and the tiny breeze felt a little bit stronger. He looked up at the sky again. That tiny cloud was a little bit bigger now. He walked past some tall dry grass. He saw a small prickly bush, and underneath it he saw something amazing. The ground was not cracked here. It was a little bit damp, just a tiny bit. It wasn't much, but it was a clue. Chase looked up again. The sun was starting to set, and the first stars were popping out. He knew the stars very well. He knew which ones were bright and which ones were shy. He looked at a very bright star, his favourite one. It always shone over the biggest, juiciest berry bushes in the land, and sometimes those berry bushes grew near secret springs. "That way," Chase pointed with his nose towards his favourite star. "The ants went this way, the ground is damp here, and my favourite star is pointing there." The other animals were still thirsty, but they trusted Chase. He was slow, but he was always thinking. So they all started to walk slowly, slowly, following Chase and his favourite star. They walked for a long, long time. The moon came out, big and round like a cookie. The stars twinkled like a million tiny diamonds. Chase kept looking at the stars, guiding them. And then, in the quiet night, they heard it. A tiny soft sound, drip, drip, splash. They walked a little further, and there it was, a brand new watering hole. It wasn't as big as the old one, but it was full of fresh, clear water. It bubbled up from the ground, cool and inviting. "Water!" cheered the animals. They ran to the new watering hole and drank until their tummies were full and happy. The fast cheetahs came to Chase. "Thank you, Chase," they said. "You saved us. We were so busy running we didn't see the clues." Flash and Dash looked a little bit shy. "We thought being fast was all that mattered," said Flash, "but you showed us that looking closely and thinking is just as important, maybe even more." Chase smiled his slow, happy smile. "Sometimes," he said, "it's good to be slow. It gives you time to look up and look down and see all the wonderful secrets the world is telling." From that day on, the fast cheetahs still loved to race, but they also learned to slow down sometimes. And Chase? He still loved to gaze at the sky, watching the clouds by day and the twinkling stars by night, always ready to find the next secret the world had to tell. The end.